What's happening? It's Tuesday. We are doing design sips earlier in the week and a little later at the time. And I'm confused. Are you confused? It's okay. Doesn't matter. I am Sandra Funk. This is Design Sips, where we're going to talk about the business of interior design while having a much needed cocktail. Of course, if you're on the West Coast, that might be a latte, but you know, I don't judge. You do you.
Hello to all the designers joining.
Hi, y'all. Welcome, welcome. What's going on? We are, I'm out of breath. I'm running around like a banana nut because it's time to get on the camera and do design sips. All right.
And we're
Get
a little
the wine open.
We're a little later than usual, but hopefully that means more people can join.
Yes.
Later in the
Join
day.
us in. I know, right? Tuesday at 5. Who'd have thunk it? But here's the deal. We roll when it's COVID. You know? The kids, we find out that one kid has riding and another kid has soccer on Wednesdays. Surprise, y'all. Tuesdays is now the official Design Sips day, except for when it's not, because we have some guests booked on Wednesdays.
Yes.
Again, we just roll.
We'll
just
be here
roll
until November.
We'll
Then
be
taking a minor break.
We'll be here when we're here, and we'll try to let you know when that is. Okay? Sound good. All right, so comment for me what you're drinking. Seltzers, water, something stronger, a glass of wine perhaps.
Hello, Kareen. She says also from NJ.
What's going on?
Kelly I Design says hello. Hello, everyone.
Hi, cheers. Okay, we are... Cheers.
Cheers. And today we're talking about design agreements.
Design agreements. Yeah, let me know. Give me,
Oh, wait, I have a question to prompt.
yes, give me, yes.
Are you 100% confident in your design agreement?
Oh, all right,
And
so
if not, what percentage are you?
what do we get? We get a hearts if we're 100%, and then comment your percentage of I got this locked down. Good?
Yes, and if not, you can also ask your questions about design agreements.
Yes, please. As you know, captive audience, glass of wine in hand. It's a little bit late in the day, and I will answer your design questions right here. Whatever you got for me, bring it.
Yes, and welcome. We have some people from the UK and
Ah,
Seattle.
right.
We're all not drinking yet.
Not yet. Okay. Well, lattes are fine. You know,
Yes,
you do
tea.
you.
We have lots of tea drinkers.
Ooh, I love tea.
So someone commented 70% confident. Everyone else, let us know.
That's not bad. Thank you for your comment. Appreciate that. All right.
Okay,
Shall we dig in?
yeah, let's do it. All right, so from my experience with you and the firm, I feel like I can confidently say that as you evolve and grow as a business owner, your agreement evolves with you.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I think that's true, but at the same time, I think that, well, you know how I feel. I don't think we should all have to go through the pounding your head against the wall, learning your hard knocks by trial and error, which of course is why we created the standard, right? So the idea being that, yes, we can all go through it and have step-by-step. Wow, that's loud. My air conditioner just kicked on and it's really loud. Anyway, we can all go through it and go step-by-step, learning those hard lessons and updating that agreement and, you know, having those little meetings. And of course, I remember the days of my agreement getting tightened up here and then tightened up there and then tightened up here. And then how long had it been since a lawyer had properly reviewed all those little edits that you make?
Right.
That's also scary, right? I am not a lawyer. I do not play one on the internet. And it's really important to have yours look your document over.
Yeah, so why did you... I remember we went through a big change with the agreement too, but why did you need to restructure your agreement during that change?
Yep, so many moons ago, we went through a situation where we decided to pull over and actually not even take a new client for about 3 months because I was really clear that I didn't want to take on one more project the old way. I wanted everything cleaned up. I wanted everything clarified. I wanted the decks cleared. I wanted clarity and communication and real timelines and real investment amounts of what a project actually takes to execute built into my agreement so that there wasn't this tension between myself and my clients over timing, over budgets, over lumpy design invoices, over payment terms. I just really wanted to figure it out once and for all. And so I had my coach working with me all the time in my mindset. I hired a business strategist and a lawyer, and and then as well as Ashley, all things number, my internal finance person, we really pulled over and did a very deep dive into the agreement. And the whole premise of this, if you heard me at the beginning of that statement, it's client-centric. So it all came from me wanting to be more clear, more communicative, more upfront, more towards educating my client at the front end of the project, instead of getting 6 weeks or 6 months in and having that really tough conversation of, well, I didn't realize it was going to take this long, or I didn't realize it was going to cost this much, or I didn't realize, fill in any old blank you can imagine. So backing up and setting expectations from the very beginning was paramount in the setup of our new agreement.
And why do you think it was important to have a coach there? Because I don't think a lot of people would think to have a coach there when creating a legal document.
It was from that, it's about mindset, right? So it's this idea that, so my coach and I talk a lot about like power is a dynamic, right? As like you're taking back your power, or you're handing away your power, or whatever that is. And in this instance, the conversation that we had was, you need to give the clients the power to hire you. You need to educate them. You need to say your price. You need to say your business structure. That's where my favorite phrase, stand in your space, comes from. Once you've identified how you work and what you cost, what you charge, that's it. You don't waver from that. But then you hand the power over to the client. It is then their decision. They are empowered to make a decision to hire you with the structure that you offer, with the product that you offer, and at the price that you offer, or not, right? So this is no longer this like negotiation, or this dance, or this game, or this like, what do they call it? Bait and switch, when you put something out, like, you know, this little low hourly rate, and then you jam up these like huge time bills. Like, I just remember all the games and all the junk and all the little things that over the years felt accusatory, because I didn't have enough clarity back then to provide clarity to my clients. And so it looked like I wasn't being really clear with them. Like, it wasn't like, it looked like I wasn't being transparent, but I just didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know that I needed to say our typical project is 8 to 18 months. It's not 6 weeks, you know? Like, it takes a long time to transform a home from to photography worthy, right? That's a humongous transformation. And there's a lot of emotion, and there's a lot of conversation that goes on with that. And so I didn't know what I didn't know. And that's when we sat down and said, I need to empower my clients to hire me or not. And I need to give them all the information that I would need to make a sound decision. And so it's always, always, always standing in the client's shoes and thinking, well, if I was about to get involved in a 6-figure project, 7-figure project, you know, building a new custom home from scratch, here's what I would need to know to be able to sign on. And it's not some loose thing. I would need to know some real details, and that's what we're giving them.
Yeah. And so why don't you say, well, cheers.
Cheers to that.
And
it is design, so we must eventually drink.
Yes. And
Cheers.
I think it is really important that you take it from the client angle always, and then also from protecting yourself as a business owner too.
Yes, of course. Yeah, and I think that's where business strategist, you know, mindset coach, head of finance, and myself, like with all the interactions with the clients, came together and kind of created this like incredible alchemy.
Yes.
Which is honestly, in all honesty, like an agreement that we have been so proud of, and has been so seamless that we actually felt confident that we could share it, and that other designers would use it, try it on their clients and be just as happy, and
Yes.
it's the honest to God truth. We've been banging on this contract for years, and now we're through an entire round of standard members who have also utilized this contract and have been thrilled with the results.
Yeah.
Obviously taking it to their own lawyer in their own state and getting it reviewed in their own vein.
Yeah. And so if we have designers tuning in who aren't familiar with what you're speaking of, tell us about the standard and more about the template about the design agreement.
So one of the things that we did in the last year was we launched the interior design standard, and it's our way of helping interior designers to run an efficient and joyful business. And the backbone of a joyful and efficient business is, like I was talking about, it's a design agreement that clearly outlines expectations so that your clients know exactly what's coming. And then a lot of what was going on with the mindset coach and the lawyer was that you can't just hand someone a 14-page legal agreement and expect them to read it word for word. They never will. So then it became about, now we need to take this structure and this document and we need to build it into our process of, now I need to like write myself the speech of like going through this, right? And of course I didn't want to memorize a 14-page legal doc, so we created a whole framework to walk through it. But basically, by the time I was done getting this all squared away for my clients, it felt like we had put tons of hours of work into it, tons of brain power from all these different angles, tons of money into the lawyer, the business strategist, the all things number, and the mindset coach to really, see this from every angle. And we had invested so much in this that it felt absolutely ridiculous to keep it for ourselves. So again, the interior design standard is where we basically share this method with all of you. It's the templates, it's the exact agreement in a soft format that you can download and make your own. You put your logo where mine is, you go ahead and put your information in. Of course, you're always going to change your language to sound more like you and less like me, and then you're going to take it to your local lawyer to just check it all around.
Yeah, and so enrollment opens on September 16th next week.
Yes, so if you don't want to start from scratch or be looking at a blank sheet of paper when it comes to how should I structure something that's great for my clients, great for me personally, and has me covered, then the interior design standard is literally your VIP pass to that.
Yes, definitely. And then we had some comment. I think you were speaking of like the bait and switch. I think he or she says those games are rampant in trades. Can you comment on why trades should make a profit off of the fixtures the clients order?
The bait and switch and the rampant in trades. I don't know. I'm not sure. If you can clarify the question, I will answer it more specifically. But I think that the idea that there's like some smoke and mirrors and there's some like backdoor kickbacks, money making, that whole scene is what I found when I joined the interior design industry, right? I came from business process consulting where you want a thing, here's the price, you buy the thing, right? And when I got into design, it feels like there's like with the 510 codes and this is happening and that happening, and it does feel like there's a lot of confusion. And I've always been a keep it simple stupid girl. Like, I just think that the straight on ahead way is the most straightforward way. I'm a straight talker. There's not a lot of smoke and mirrors here. Mascara, yeah. Maybe a lot of cover up. No, but there's I just always felt like glitchy and uncomfortable with that. So I put it very clearly in my contract. My business is based on both my flat design fees and all purchasing and execution going through my firm. That is purchasing and execution that doesn't involve licensed trades. If we've got a GC, a licensed electrician, plumber, etc., or building a home, obviously the client is going to be in contract with them directly. But I'm talking about overseeing my decorative painter, my wallpaper installer, etc., etc. Like, those are the execution. Like the stair runner will be installed by my people up until licensed trades, in which point you need to be in direct contract. So, but that is very clearly identifying. I'm going to say it again slow. My business is based on both my flat design fee and all purchasing and execution going through my firm. I further clarify that I purchase at a trade discount and I sell to the client at reasonable retail pricing. This is in writing in my contract. It also states at no point is a client privy to my net cost, right? My price at which I purchase from different vendors is not anyone's business. And even the vendors would be very upset to know that I had shared that, right? Sometimes I have relationships with vendors where I've been buying from them for over 12 years or longer, and where I have a volume that has been proven year after year after year. Well, I've negotiated deeper discounts, and certainly that vendor doesn't want me even going and telling other designers what I'm buying at. That's not, it's a conversation between the two of us. And so similarly, I just make it very clear in my contract. That's not a conversation I'm going to have with my clients either.
We have a great question about this.
I'm going to have a glass of wine.
Yes, enjoy. So Karen asks, and Karen, thanks for joining in. You've come to a lot of design sips, so we're glad to see you back again today.
Hello. Nice to see you.
She says, I have a statement that all purchases run through my firm, but I still occasionally have a client who shops me. How do I prevent that, and what to do when it happens?
All right, Karen, so here's the deal. I think you might need one of those statements embedded into your design agreement that says, my business model is based on both my flat design fees and all purchases going through my firm. And then I like to follow that up in person when I'm doing the presentation, where I walk them through the whole design agreement with saying to them, this is my livelihood. It is not a hobby. I literally am counting on this income. It's part of our family income. I mean, I don't go that far into depth, but like, if somebody were to shop me, I would have no problem saying, we have an agreement. This is how I make my living. If I had a client who tried to shop me once, and when we all, came back to it, there was a situation where I was like, this is literally my livelihood. Like, this is what I do for a living. I'm not sure what you don't understand.
Yeah.
Of course you can go to the best anything, right? You can go to the best boutique and get a killer outfit, and you can go to Target and put together a killer outfit. But if you're in the boutique, you're not gonna like drag that incredible, amazing stylist and say, I know I could buy like all the stuff that you've curated here, but I just need your eye. I just wanna borrow your vision. Would you go to Target with me? Like, that's what they're asking you to do. You've given them the incredible vision, and then they're just gonna swap out piece for piece. Well, you know what? Like, Amazon has that app, right? Like, click the picture, it'll give you the stuff to shop from it. You don't need me for that. But you did agree to work with me in a professional capacity at this level. And the other part of it, Karen, that's important is that you've set a fee together, and they understand what you cost in complete total upfront, as well as you've set an investment amount that's going to be spent on the project together upfront. And so then the argument becomes very easy. It says we're within the investment amount that we've set together. I am a flat fee, so you're already paying me to do this work. So where's the disconnect? Why are you now going out and running around? That's my job. You've already paid me to do that job, and I'm happy to finish it for you.
Cheers.
So, yeah, cheers.
And we actually have that email draft that we sent to the client in the standard, because it happens to a lot of designers.
And I get it, right? Once the vision is put together, just like I said, with a really amazing outfit, like you can see it's a camel leather belt. Okay, well, I can get a camel leather belt from somebody else, and it's a white button-down shirt. Like, of course you could swap out those individual items, but this is someone's livelihood that they've put together for you. You're not going to start now the client's being the one who's baiting and switching, right? Like, they're in there switching things out and cutting out from under you, and it's not fair.
No.
And once you give them the vision, of course it's easy to do. And that's basically what that email says. Well, I understand, now that you know the exact dimensions, the exact tone that piece of furniture should be, the exact look and the feel that it should provide to make this room complete, that it seems like it's easy and obvious that you should swap that out, but that's not the rules of the game.
Yeah, and she says at times they find the exact items.
Sure. Yeah. And there's, overstock Wayfair. There's the seconds. Those are the things that were returned that maybe didn't pass quality control when they were about to go out. And so they were sent to, again, Wayfair and Overstock. They're well known for that they get the stuff that didn't meet quality standards the first round of the product going out. So, yeah, that's crazy unfortunate. And that is a big part of why we try so hard to stick with to the trade-only sources and custom whenever possible. Not only do we want to give our clients a room that doesn't look like anyone else's, we also want it to be just right. And so going with a stock standard item or a stock standard finish is typically not the perfect thing. And so we're going for excellent. We're not going for good enough. And so we really do customize almost everything that goes into our clients' homes for their specific project. It helps us with shoppability, and it also elevates our design.
And this type of thing always brings me back to our potential client process and our ideal client. Because we can confidently say our ideal client does not go shopping.
Correct. Our ideal client is a very busy, smart, but mostly busy, amazing human being, right?
Who hired a professional
and they're someone who wants excellent.
Yeah.
They don't want good enough, because they definitely could have walked into a Pottery Barn or Restoration Hardware and gotten a functional room. They could have purchased furniture to make the room do what it's supposed to do. Sleep there, eat there, relax there, sit there, whatever. They're looking for more. Right? They're looking for a home that doesn't reflect Restoration Hardware's values. They're looking for a home that reflects their values, that reflects their aesthetic. And so they want excellent. They don't just want good enough, they want excellent. And so our ideal client is a professional who values professionals, right? Mm-hmm. There's someone who goes to a professional when they want to get a nutrition plan. There's someone who goes to a professional when they get their hair done. There's someone who goes to a professional when they're thinking about landscape lighting, right? My ideal client avatar, the person who hires me over and over and over again over the last 15 years, is not a DIYer. They're not someone who has a great eye and loves to do it themselves. I love that person. That's probably me. But that's not my client. My client is someone who trusts and appreciates a professional and wants excellence in their home.
Yeah, totally. Agreed.
So, and I think a huge, huge part of our potential client process is cutting to that chase, right? It's being really clear about who we are and what we do and what those expectations are, and then letting the client sit with that decision. Do they want to work with us or not? It is entirely up to them. We are not forcing anyone. We are not, we're not going door to door trying to convince anyone to hire us. But we're real clear on how we work, but once they're in that framework, we're not joking around if someone tries to shop us either. That's just the truth of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Take that seriously.
Yeah. Again, welcome if you're just joining. This is Design Sips.
Hi, I'm Sandra Funk. We're having a little glass of wine, tea, seltzer. You do you. But we're talking about the business of interior design, and as usual, a little design sips here and there. So please comment your questions. We're talking about design agreements today, but you know me, I'll answer almost any design business question. And if it's too big a topic for us to answer right now, we'll file it away and do a show all dedicated to that.
Yes.
Not a problem.
So for your design agreement, why don't you tell us a little bit more what's in the beginning? Because I know we have a lot of process in there, those expectations.
Yep.
Which I think people leave for as after the client signs on, and we kind of put it all in there, and I love that. So why don't you share what's in the beginning of your agreement before the legalities?
Sure. So yeah, back in the day, it was like an ASID template that I had tweaked and fiddled with and probably screwed up with all my little edits and alterations over the years. But now this agreement, I wanted the entire thing laid out in the agreement. So we have our full design process built right into our design agreement. It's not an onboarding that we do after we sign a client. it's a demonstration and an explanation and education of how we do everything before they sign on. So they know exactly what they're going to be getting with us. And then, of course, we continue to educate and prepare. So we do a phased approach to our design, right? We do a conceptual design phase, detailed design, and then purchasing and execution. If we're building or renovating, there's more layers into the mix, but that's our basic design structure. And then, of course, in the beginning, there's administrative, getting the whole system set up that we do as well. So that is all in that agreement with timelines, with expectations, with the payment terms, all of those details, exactly what the deliverables are going to be at each one of those phases, how long between meetings they can expect, kind of all of what it could possibly look like. And then obviously this agreement is wordy, so we created a whole what is it, a PowerPoint presentation, PDF, I don't know, we call it what you want, to walk them through it step by step by step. And also for me not to have to memorize this whole agreement or, God forbid, read it to them, which I have been told to sit down in front of a client and read them my design agreement, and I was like, not a chance. Like, I would get up and leave the room if someone tried to read me a 12-page document or 14, whatever the heck it is. I would leave the room. I'd be like, just kidding. I don't have time for this. So we created something visual and quick and, something that guided me through it without having to memorize, and also teaches them every bit about what it's going to look like all the way through.
Yeah. So comment how many pages your contract is.
So I think we were at 14, and then we ended up making the legal terms that are like standard in every agreement small, and so I think we're down to 12.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So 12. But the 12 includes an example investment estimate.
Yes.
So the amount of money that projects in the past of a similar size and scope have, how much clients have spent in the past. So that's just based on historic numbers that we calculate so that the client can see if we're even in the same stratosphere when it comes to budget. And then we also have Addendum B, which is just a blank template, but it helps me demonstrate to them that while Addendum A is an example budget of what clients have spent in the past, Addendum B is their actual budget that we're going to put together at the end of the first design phase, which is conceptual design. So we aren't going to get to the brass tacks on what their number really is until we figure out exactly what the design is.
Yes. So Karen commented, so after having your initial consultation, do you return to present and review the agreement? To present and review the agreement.
So COVID has given us many things, a whole bunch of things. But one of the things that it did was it kind of fast forwarded our potential client process. It used to be a 2-part meeting. Number 1 was going to the client's house, meet and greet, walk them through this presentation, take dimensions of the space, and then the second meeting was have them into our office space, present the actual numbers, the design fees, as well as those investment estimate amounts. We have since kind of reduced everything. Mm-hmm. Typically, our clients are able to give us, even if it's just the marketing floor plan from when they purchase the house, they're able to give us some sort of floor plan of what their space that they're looking to do, or they're able to take a quick dimension for us if they don't have that floor plan. And we're able to kind of do a really intense screening call where we really understand if this is a good fit or not. And then by the time I get them, I'm getting to know them, I'm walking them through our whole process, and I already have the numbers all figured out because I had those, the square foot of the project ahead of time. And then if in that conversation I realize we were thinking it's a decorate only, but it really is going to be a renovation, I'll say to them, you know what, I'm going to make some edits to this. I see, we're going to go in a different direction or what have you. Like the times when I've had to clarify, not a big deal. I'll just make those edits and send them back over to them or hop on another call. Because a lot of times clients will say one thing in their intake conversation and then they kind of spend a little more time talking about it between those two conversations, and they make a little bit of an edit sometimes. They usually start here, raise the scope up, and then bring it back down again when they see the numbers. So
yeah, totally.
Right.
And Oh, we provide both in-person or virtual process in the standard of our
Yes.
potential client process. We have two totally
Yep.
templates.
Two complete fleshed out.
Yes.
So we have two versions in the standard. Original version, which if you're in a part of the world where in-person meetings and that those two meetings really help you seal the deal, you're building that relationship, you're building rapport, maybe you have an office space you want to show them, introduce them to the team, that is all in the standard. And then we're giving you the option of a completely virtual potential client process where everything is over Zoom. You kind of fast track that whole thing like I just described. Kind of our COVID version when we were in the Northeast and it really wasn't kosher to be on job sites. So, but we still, have people interested and have people moving to town and people still need to do the planning around the work on their home. So we're able to do that.
Yes, and we have signed clients both ways.
Definitely.
So don't feel like one way won't work.
Yep.
Less than the other.
Exactly. Yep. Both work.
So, Sandra, designers tend to stray away from those very legal heavy contracts. And maybe they think they won't ever be in those types of situations. What do you think about that?
I think you should call your local lawyer and I'm sure they'll have a few stories for you about why you should have a good, serious, solid contract. Yes, it is. I used to kind of go into potential client meetings apologetic about my robust contract, and I'm no longer apologetic. This is a business. I am in business. This is not a hobby. This is not, my art that I don't charge for. This is business. I am going to be doing major work, often renovations, construction, new builds. There's nothing to apologize for. A robust and serious contract is totally appropriate for the kind of work that we do. Being in and out of people's homes, having workmen on site. If your name is on the drawings, you need to be protected. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. And worth the investment of the lawyer, which I think people stray away from too.
Definitely. Worth every penny. I mean, do it once, do it right, get it done.
And if you want to speed up the process, we have our design agreement, which over many designers have used since we launched the standard. They're using our template in their business. So if you want to take that investment money and, well, you still have to go to a lawyer for the template, but it'll be faster.
But listen, bringing a contract that's been used by over 50 people successfully to a lawyer to review for your state's specifics is a very different price point than bringing a lawyer a blank sheet of paper and some hopes and dreams about your business. So having a lawyer draft something from scratch for you, I know, I've done it, versus having them review something that you can say has been proven and is working in businesses, both over many, many years, my business, and across many states and Canada. You can honestly bring them that and have it be a review situation, not a start over situation. It's a whole different price point. I mean, we're talking hours instead of days of work.
Yes. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Or weeks in my case, or months.
Yes.
But anyway, when you're starting with a blank sheet of paper, which is what I needed to clear the decks. I needed to stop doing it the old way and come at it with, what would I want if I was signing on for someone to help me transform my home?
Yeah. And designers might be feeling that way right now too, Sandra. Like, I need a start over.
Right. Redo.
And I think the standard really provides that to a lot of people. Like, you can clear the decks because there's already a process built. You don't need to build anything from scratch.
Right. And I know, because it was fumble tumble, learn from errors, many, many years, and it took a precipice of me saying, that's it, I'm changing how I do it, or I'm getting out of this industry, frankly. It's up or out for me, and again, I couldn't be happier. It just works, and it felt like it was too crazy to keep all to myself, so here we are.
A designer commented, yes to that, many exclamation points.
Yes to that. Cheers, people.
Cheers. And if you're looking for a little intro, beginner area to systems and processes, we have a really fun masterclass coming up.
Ooh, we do. So I don't know if you've heard, but I'm obsessed with Asana. It is basically a business management to-do list. It's a to-do list like with all the bells and whistles that it could ever have. It's so much more than a to-do list. It's a templated process. I don't know, it's so much more. You have to get inside of it to understand how incredibly life-changing it can be. My family makes fun of me. There's a lot of Asana humor around my household, but I'm going to tell you now that I went from sleepless nights to building a team based on being able to outline my processes, systematize everything, and then delegate. It's like game changer, like I cannot even explain. So you see the passion I have for Asana. We decided to do a very, very cool free masterclass in Asana because I just need to get you in it so I can show you just how amazing it is. So you have to join me there.
Yes, and they can go to the trade page to find that event.
Yes, houseoffunk.com to the trade button in the top right, and you will be able to see all the standard and also this fun masterclass on Asana. Check it out.
Love it.
And demo module.
So, yes, first I want to say, before we get into the demo module, the presentation that you present, that is a breakdown of your agreement, is our behind the scenes of our...
Yes.
It is our presentation.
Yeah, it's our demo module. So if you take our demo module for the standard, you are basically getting... Like we flipped it so that it's, talking to you instead of talking to the end user. But it's basically the onboarding that we use for our potential clients. And I know I'm onboarding them before they're actually a client, but think about it. What if you were training them to work with you before they even signed on, right?
Yes.
They're going to be able to see really clearly if they want to work with you because you're clearly identifying what it looks like to work within your firm. So we have found that just totally game changing. And again, a catapult forward. When we start a project, we are off and running. Like everyone knows what to expect. We are rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I love it. And both the demo module and Asana are free.
Yes, go check it out. All those resources, all for you, all at houseoffunk.com, and then check out the trade tab.
Yes. So that's all I have for the design agreement. We covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, that's it, people.
If you have any follow-up questions, DM us. And next week, we will be here with designers who have taken the standard.
This is going to be so fun. I cannot wait to introduce you. You must check back in. Do we know if that's on a Wednesday or a Tuesday or like a day you've made up?
Wednesday, Wednesday at 2 o'clock.
Wednesday at 2.
The 16th, yeah.
All right. We're going to keep you guys posted on when this is happening because we're like a little all over the place. Again, COVID, mom, just rolling with it. Rolling with the schedule. We got to do what we got to do. Get the kids where they need to be. All right, y'all. Have an amazing day. Cheers to you. Cheers to designers everywhere. And I wish you much success. Take care, guys.
Thanks so much, everyone. Cheers.